Do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you. Hi, we're the authors of the book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. We've been married for going on 39 years. Haven't had an argument over 37. And actually, I really like her a lot. And we have a great time because we learned some principles. That when it was rough and rocky, we instituted the principles that we learned from wise mentors, and they worked. That's why we wrote the book, from what we learned and what we had absorbed and what we embraced that worked. And that's why we encourage people to do what we've done and use the principles that we've written about. So we want to welcome you wherever you may be around the world. And we're grateful for you making this one of the most popular marriage shows online. So thank you. We get from email that people send us about some of their issues, some of their problems, and want our take on them. So let's get started on today's.
Here's the sparks to fire.
From how to, when it goes from sparks, how to keep them from going to become a raging fire, and how to deal with little issues, minor issues, before they become a crisis.
So how to deal with minor issues in your marriage, in your relationship, before they get out of hand.
Yeah, before they get, what I like to use is how to keep a little teeny weeny little crack from becoming a chasm.
You like that word, don't you?
I love chasms because they're big. They're big. They're the Grand Canyon.
All right, why don't you give us a backstory on your...
Here's the backstory. A wife, wonderful, put the spouse out. Wife
was not kind to her husband.
No. See, am I giving the backstory? You give it back.
Because you so slow in getting it out.
I want to make sure.
I'm going to help you.
You going to help me?
I'm going to help you.
All right. So the wife kept telling her husband, I don't know whether she said it nicely or not, that he was a slob. He was sloppy. And particularly in his man cave, the basement where he occupied the basement mostly, she said, this is just a terrible mess. It's embarrassing. Don't want anybody to see how sloppy you can be. He was sloppy. One day, he had some of his buddies over to watch football game. She came downstairs and proceeded to embarrass him in front of his buddies. He said, I'll never do this again. I'll never invite any of my friends over to watch football here again. And so on Sundays, for football game season, he would leave Sunday afternoons and go to a sports bar to watch the games. It was during that time, going every week to a sports bar to watch the games, that he became friendly with a woman who befriended him, and they became very close and started a friendship. I'm not going to say an affair, but a close friendship where they would talk or text daily.
When you say affair,
what was it? He when I asked him, he said it was not sexual.
Well, you can have an affair and not have sexual. Am I right or wrong?
It may be considered an emotional affair.
There is a definition of an emotional affair.
And
where you're not having sex, but you're intimate with sharing
the things you would typically share with your spouse. He was sharing those things with his friend,
newfound friend. Who was of the opposite sex.
Okay. And it led to his wife learning about this woman. I don't know how. It doesn't say. I don't know any of the detail how she discovered this woman.
You didn't ask her?
I did not. But the wife then tells him, cut it off. Stop being friends with her or else. But he chooses not to abide by his wife's dictate. And he kept being friends with the woman.
In secret?
Yes.
He doesn't tell his wife.
No.
He didn't end the relationship.
Correct.
Okay.
His wife proceeds to learn that he has not ended the relationship, and then she tells him he must leave the house. He says, I don't want to leave the house. I love you. You're my wife. You're the one I've loved all my life. But she says, get out. So he goes to his sister's home, and he lives there for a couple months. And then he dies suddenly of a heart attack. A little issue that became a big problem that is now not fixable.
Well, he's dead.
Because it can't be fixable. If he's dead, it can't be resolved because he's gone. And it could have been fixed at the point where there was a sloppiness, which is valid on her part that she was concerned about. But there's a way to address these things. How do you fix the little things while they're little before the little things become major issues that bring on new issues? It's like a little spark that if you can put the spark out before it becomes a forest fire or burns down the home, well, the house would burn down in a sense.
So you saved the relationship by doing that. So what's the answer?
So the answer goes back to something we talk about in the book. 1, communication. And not just talking to each other, but how you talk to each other. 2 is the fact that you never go to bed angry.
So let's go back. Let's pursue this.
Don't let the sun go down on your wrath.
Open communication. What does that mean?
Open communicate, that you talk to each other. Mm-hmm. That you're communicating openly and honestly.
So she said to him, you're sloppy. It didn't work.
It did not work.
So why is that? That was open communication.
Yeah, but it didn't.
She said,
it didn't take.
Sloppy, fix it. She embarrassed him in front of his friends. He said, I'm never going to have you over again. It wasn't resolved.
No. It was not resolved. Now, why wasn't it resolved? That's the question. Was it because of the way she said it to him? Or did she not get him to see her side of the issue? So let's go back. I have had a reputation in my life of being sloppy. When I was dating my wife, she would occasionally come by where I was living, and she'd say,
with his mama?
With my mama. With my mama. But I had an apartment within my mother's home. And she said, sloppy. Okay, we're just dating at that point.
You had navy blue
curtains. I like
the window.
Yeah, I could. It was dark. What they call blackout curtains. That's what it was.
Okay.
You close them curtains, it get dark. Because I was a musician at that point.
So you function more.
I was up till late at night, and I would sleep until midday, and so I could close those curtains. No sunshine, nothing to wake me up. Now, when we got married,
He was still sloppy.
I brought some of those sloppy habits with me as a married man. But my wife said, that doesn't really work for me. So she said, I'd like you to make up the bed. That's just
proceeded to persuade him.
There you go. That's what I'm getting to. That's where I want to get to now. Like making up the bed, cleaning up behind myself. But let's just go with making up the bed. I had never, ever made up the bed. Because my thought was, I'm going to get right back in it tonight. Why make it up?
And that was the conversation that he had with you.
Yeah, I said, well, why do that? That's wasted energy. I'm going to get out the bed, go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, why wake it up to get back in it that night and unmake it? So I got to get in it. Just leave it unmade, pull up the cover, and I'm done. That was my position. That was how I saw it. And that's how I proceeded. But my wife said, I like a bed that's made up. I like it, the covers, and I like the pillows, and I like
crisp sheets.
Yeah, I like all that.
Unwrinkled when you get in bed.
Yes, you said you like that. We had a conversation about this, and I didn't see the sense of it. But she influenced me to see her way and to start making up the bed. Now, let's talk about how. Because this is the crux of the issue that many people would learn a great lesson. She didn't nag. Oh, she did initially. But one day I told her.
I said,
that
doesn't work.
That doesn't work.
Okay.
That does not work. That ain't working.
Something else.
You got to come up with better. But she did. She was smart. What did you do, dear?
I evaluated what was important to you.
Yes. That was a good way of saying it. That's very diplomatic. Mm-hmm. So she tied.
Because what is important to one might not be important to another.
So she knew.
So it was important when I say I evaluate, I studied you.
So she learned that sex was important to me. Okay, let's call it like it is. And she didn't withhold sex. No, she didn't use it as a weapon. What she did was she conditioned me.
I reinforced the behavior. So anytime you did something that even inclined towards organizing, I'm so happy. You put your shoes under the bed, or maybe put them in the closet.
I put them in the closet. I cleaned up my underwear off the floor. I made up the bed. She hooked me up. You hear what I'm saying? She hooked me up. Now, she never withheld it.
Okay, so let's go back.
Let me make sure you understand what I'm saying. She gave me a treat. I was like, Pavlov.
I gave you a treat that you wanted because I studied your behavior.
I was like Pavlov's dog.
The key was not necessarily.
Ring the bell, get a treat. Ring the bell,
the key
get a
was
treat.
not necessarily the sex. It was what would make you happy and excited about doing the task that was uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable will make you happy.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm. So it becomes like a cycle. I'm doing something that pleases you, and you in turn do something that pleases me.
Yes. And
so it becomes the cycle.
It's cycle. So I would clean up I would make up that bed because I knew I was getting a treat. I got that treat. Now, she never withheld it when I didn't. That was not the issue. It was she gave me something extra, a little extra. And let me tell you, from that day to this, have I slept in a bed in our house in over 30 years without making up?
No, dear.
Every day.
Sometimes when I leave early in the morning and you're still butt up in the bed, when I finally get back, it is made.
It's made. The pillows are all fluffed. But
I made concessions too because I was used to having a bed that had the four corners and everything was tucked. Yeah. So to make it easier for you to do that, I got the duvet. Remember somebody said,
Yeah.
the man says,
What is?
Some comedian said,
said,
what the heck is a duvet cover?
Right.
So
we
so
heard
I
it the
got
other
a
night. I think it was on
cover
Saturday Night Live.
that made it easy just to fluff it, and then the bed looked great, and you throw the pillows on it.
And I do that every single day. I have been making up the bed for over 30 years, every single day. And so, folks,
Positive conditioning.
First communication. We didn't argue. I told her nagging wasn't working. And so we worked it out by communicating.
So what does that mean? We listen to each other, what you were saying. When I was saying you need to make up the bed, you need to make up the bed, and you said you're nagging me, and that doesn't work.
That didn't work.
I said, oh, okay, then I had to figure out something else.
Yes.
So then observation and studying you and what's important to you, what turns you on. It wasn't the meal, it was the relationship for us.
Yes.
For you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I was willing to be sweet and kind and charming and positively reinforce you when you would do some little thing.
Good. I got to get some shout outs. Brina Ma, I believe it is. Victoria Stockdale, so glad to see you back. Great. Yvonne Williams from Zebulon, North Carolina is with us. So thank you. Landa Pack is here. So we got a bunch of our friends. And then we know that Gladys Pemberton is somewhere watching. She hasn't made a statement yet, but we know she watches every
whenever she's not traveling.
Whenever she's not on the road. And then we want to say hello to Biddy Clark. She watches on the replay, and Alice Davis. We get these folks. I mean, we've got thousands of people watching the replay. So for all of those, I want to say
so it's positive reinforcement.
Positive.
And you have to care. I think one of the things that is often missing when we get comments about strained relationships, you have to love, care, and being willing to be the one to simply go the extra mile. I'm gonna work at doing the right thing.
Well, when we both do that, then that creates that
is that cycle.
It's a cycle. You know, the best relationships are seesaws, where the power in the marriage vacillates, because we know that the person who loves least has the power. The person who loves least has the power at that moment. So the best relationships are when the power vacillates. This week I love you more. Next week you love me more, and it continues to vacillate. So go
when you
the
love
extra mile.
Someone, you're going to be actively paying attention to what they value, right?
Yes, and then
which means if you're active, that means
and if
not
you
just
have
watching, but you're also going to listen. So
let's go back to this story. He had a sloppiness habit.
But this wasn't new, which takes me to my second point of they've been married for some time.
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
So why wasn't this addressed early on? So then there's a problem of when you talk about these little cracks that become these huge things, a problem or a challenge you identify as early as possible, and you don't let it slip away. Right?
Yes. Yeah,
you address it early.
You do. Well,
so maybe it would not have ended up.
Well, we don't know when she started getting upset about the sloppiness. She might have accepted it. He was sloppy when he married her.
Yes.
Okay, this is a habit he brought from home. His mama let him be sloppy. My mama let me be sloppy. Yes. Okay, so that was just how I was raised. Okay, it wasn't anything malicious. It was just I was not a neat guy, and my mama let me do it. I didn't see it. I mean, I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
And I had to study you to understand that.
I didn't see it.
But you didn't see it.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
It's like, well, why do I have to put, why do I have to put the top on it, on the box? I'm like, when you said, I was like, what? Well, why do I have to close up the cereal box? Oh my God. Because the cereal is spoiling. That's why they have the little, the cellophane inside.
We talk about water on the counter.
Oh, let's not.
Let's not even go there.
No.
Okay. So but I was a sloppy guy. I didn't see it. And
I had to understand.
Once she understood, and we talked it through. We never got ugly. We never argued, hollered, screamed.
And having a sense of humor helped a lot.
Helped a lot. So I want to say to people who are watching that many people divorce over little stuff that wasn't fixed when it was little.
So you got to talk about if something is annoying.
If something is bothering, yeah, that's right. Talk about it that day. Don't eat your feelings. Don't hold it. Talk about it. And if you're upset, don't let the sun go down on your wrath.
If you're upset, that might not be the time to have a conversation.
No.
So maybe you need to.
Before the day is out, though, how to say it.
How to say it. So maybe you need to take that walk. You need to go take a chill pill or do something. Maybe go to yoga. Think it through so you can come back and use words that are affirming and kind and not something that tears the other person down, right?
That's right.
Then, okay, so we're going to communicate, which is a major struggle. And we're going to do it early on for things that really annoy you. And some things, people are so hardwired they can't help it.
Right.
So it's kind of like you need to decide whether or not this is something you can live with before you get married. That's why you go to marriage counseling.
We recommend everybody. If you're not married, we recommend premarital counseling.
Right. So you're going to communicate. You're going to address whatever it is as early as possible and not eat your feelings, which is a very modern day term.
And don't take today's problems to tomorrow. Okay.
And then you're going to pick your battles. Does everything require a long drawn out conversation?
Some stuff is not worth arguing about. Not worth having. And some stuff I gotta let it go. Like flowers everywhere.
You say flowers.
Everywhere.
I got flowers today.
But you see, that just added to their flowers everywhere.
But these are special. These are fresh cut. Wait, no. These are fresh cut flowers, and we attended the DC Emancipation Day at the Convention Center, and they gave the centerpieces away. And I talked to them. So these are cut, but the natural greenery. I talked to them.
12, 13,
and they grow.
14,
No,
15.
that's
you got at least 15 plants in this vicinity. And then in the bathroom, on my side, they thought it coming over my side. All these flowers. I can't even. We got a beautiful 2-bowl sink, granite, everything nice. Then this flower keeps coming over in my space. So I took her little flower and I put it over in the corner. I know she wanted. You see, I put it over in the corner.
I did see one.
Because
you know what? It crept back. It crept back.
I can't brush my teeth. It interferes.
Here's the thing. The greenery is good for the air.
Okay, why does it have to be right in the middle of it?
It doesn't have to be, sweetie. We'll move it to the side when you're brushing your teeth and your
on my desk in my office.
And then we will bring it back to the center because it likes the light as well as the mirror. It
likes the mirror?
Yes.
Does it look at itself? Help me, somebody.
So you tolerate my plants, but when I had lots of cuttings and you were like, this doesn't work. Because it was
middle of winter. Winter. She has water and these cuttings and it's sitting and standing water in the house where it's warm. And before long, I'm in my office and the mosquitoes in the middle of winter. Mosquitoes. Where do mosquitoes come from?
So you explained to me.
I know where they came from.
And you said it has to go.
I said, this not going to work.
So it took me like more than a week to plant everything. Right?
Yes.
But I got it done. You helped me understand, especially after I got
I didn't fuss though, did I?
No, you did not.
I wasn't rude.
No.
I wasn't nasty.
No.
Folks, that's what we're trying to get the lesson to everybody. One, communicate. And it's not what you say always, it's how you say what you say. Say it with love. Say it with care, with kindness. Don't nag. We talk about that in the book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, don't nag.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it's a problem and if you're bothered by it, now his fault was when she embarrassed him.
That was the last straw.
That was the last straw, but he did not. He ate his feelings. He didn't say to her that night, you hurt my feelings today.
And you embarrassed me.
You embarrassed me. He did not say that. Where she could have said, I'm sorry. I apologize. Let's figure it out. Let's work it out. Can there be some compromise? Can you clean up before you finish?
What about a housekeeper?
How about they both are working? How about a housekeeper on Saturdays before the game on Sundays? Could you do that? We're bringing a housekeeper.
We'll all pitch in.
Everybody, that's a solution if you talk about
3 sets of hands, right?
Right.
So we got figure out how you're going to say it without being ugly.
Right.
Right. You're going to try to work on this early before it becomes explosive.
Right.
Right.
Before raging fire or falls into the chasm.
Right. Right. And you're going to choose your battles carefully because everything doesn't require a fight.
Right. And what else?
And then practice empathy. Empathy says try to understand
the other side.
Yeah.
Well, that goes to our 4 F's. Be friendly. Be frank about your feelings, which he should have done. Be fair. Talk to her to hear her side and how it really bugged her that it was sloppy and embarrassed her, and she therefore embarrassed you. And then be focused on a win-win.
And focus on a win-win also.
Oh, be friendly, be frank, be fair. Listen, empathy says, let me hear your side.
Right.
Okay. And then be focused on a win-win. And then compromise. Right.
Which is compromise. Just another way of saying
it. And if you can't fix it, marriage counseling. Therapy. And always respectful. That's what we've done over these years. We're respectful to each other. We talk to each other respectfully. We might disagree. I didn't tell her to flower. Get that flower out of here. Yeah. No, baby. This flower, they taking over. These flowers are everywhere. They're taking over.
And I so love them.
And the other day, I was trying to fix my meal, and the little flowers was in my plate. And I said, this flower is problem. She said, don't talk like that around the flower. Oh, you hurt the flower's feelings. the little flower, he didn't mean it. He didn't.
I did say that.
She said that.
I really did say that. Because they're all growing. It's so great. You can see nature and how they're responding to the light and the water and the sun and the environment. Yes. And so we have an environment, a loving, thoughtful, kind environment.
Okay.
And they
little flower.
Just like people who thrive in a thoughtful, loving environment.
And that's true. People do thrive in a thoughtful, loving. Okay.
And that's what we create.
I want everybody to go to Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last. Go get the book. I want you to go to jolleymarriage.com. First, I want you to watch the TED Talk. Watch it and then get 2 copies of the book or get the bundle. 2 books, 2 workbooks, an audio book, and a CD series and seminar. I also want you to go to the relationship repair series if you're having issues in your marriage, in your relationship. If you're single, we recommend you get the book. And you get one for your significant other or the person you're thinking about so they can see how to treat you. Okay? So get 2 books. But then if you got married or in a relationship and there are problems and you need help, we recommend you go to jolleymarriage.com/events for the relationship repair series. It's a 5-part series that is about 50 minutes to an hour each segment. And it will help you. And you can order that series. It will bless you. It will help you. It will work on your problems, and the 2 of y'all can grow together. And it's a lot cheaper than a divorce lawyer. Boom, a lot cheaper. So do it today. Go to jolleymarriage.com and jolleymarriage.com/events. You would add.
Remember humor.
Gotta have some humor. Gotta have humor. It works. It really
makes all the other things go down a lot easier.
Yep. So my one-man show is coming back to DC one night only, April 27th.
Saturday, April 27th.
Broadway style show, music, motivation. You'll hear that song Close to You. That is our theme song for the marriage show. And I'll be singing, I'll be speaking, I'll be entertaining, I'll be making you laugh, but I also will be inspiring people to live their best life. And don't let the setbacks turn them into, let those setbacks become comebacks by the fact that they get a new mindset. So the President of the United States used my quote in his State of the Union, which led to people calling and realized we needed to do the show again. So go to thecomebackshow.com. Get your tickets. Thecomebackshow.com. If you're out of town, great reason to come to DC for the weekend. Thecomebackshow.com.
And there's underground parking.
And there's underground parking at the venue. Beautiful venue. But it is a small venue. So get your tickets today. Thecomebackshow.com. All right, marriage show is on YouTube. And we will see y'all, God willing, and the creek don't lies next week. So we go out on my song from the jazz album and from the one-man show, Close to You.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.